Good evening and welcome to the Heroes Half Hour. I'm Hammy and this is Felcraft. I hope you are well and good. And in our Play and Learn series, we're going to be continuing our look at the Heroes of the Storm Technical Alpha, giving you guys all of a look before we can get into beta. And today we're going to be looking at Azmodan. Now, Azmodan and Nubarak were the two new heroes as heroes got into the final stage of Tech Alpha. So, without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at Azmodan. We will do what we always do, which is take a look at Azmodan's abilities quickly in a very simple overview kind of way, take a look at how he will play as a hero, and then we will jump into a live game and show you him in action. So, can we fit that in a half hour? Let's go with the challenge. Here's Azmodan himself. Let's give him a shake. Here. He hungers for battle and fresh blood. Right, Azmodan is a ranged specialist. Specialists in Heroes of the Storm can fulfill various different roles and generally have something unique and interesting to define them as a specialist. So they can be siege minions, they can be ranged, they can be close up, they can be sort of healers, they can be something a little bit different that doesn't fall into the archetypal classes of warrior, support and assassin. Good evening, PG, and good evening, Lud, joining us. Very well, thank you. Hope you're well yourselves. So, Azmodan, a ranged specialist. For those of you familiar with Diablo, he hails from the Diablo universe, if indeed he is a he. I'm guessing he's a he. And he is the Lord of Sin. You fight him and take him out, so it is all good. No shaking that fatness. So, how does Azmodan play? Well, firstly, we'll round up his abilities, and then we'll take him into try mode. Azmodan's first ability is Globe of Annihilation. You launch a long-range orb of destruction dealing area damage, and let me tell you, the range on that is long. So Azmodan is pretty much a siegey type character. You can use that orb, launch it very, very long distances, cut off people who are fleeing, you can do some damage to people from afar, you can harass. Very, very useful ability. Next up, Summon Demon Warrior. Summons a Demon Warrior, but that Demon Warrior charges in a straight line, is summoned for a finite amount of time, and is another damage ability for you, so we can show you that with how it works shortly. Then All Shall Burn. Channel a Death Beam on an enemy who does not like a good Death Beam in their arsenal. I know I certainly do, so that is a channeled ability. The cost can be broken, but again we'll show you some of the finite pieces of that. So we all have pretty damagey abilities here, which is giving you a clue as to how Azmodan will play as a ranged specialist. With Azmodan, you're going to be sniping, you're going to be trying to do damage, and fairly obviously you're going to be staying at range. So you're going to want to be sniping, doing some little snipey bits from range, and making sure that you stay out of trouble. Trait, General of Hell. Azmodan summons a Demon Lieutenant to assist and minions, mercenaries and summons, and that is on a cooldown, and it's always worth hitting it when it's on cooldown, because that will give you some additional power to your minions and similar that are close to you as well. Then you've got your choice of two heroics. You've got Demonic Invasion. Number one summons a rain of demonic grunts that damages on impact, so a little bit of a hellfire from the skies there. And then Black Pool creates a pool that empowers Azmodan and his army. So instead of going for the damage option, you can go for the buffing, which is very, very cool as well. Right, so that is Azmodan. How are we going to play as Azmodan? Well, a little clue. PG Stark says, I'm seeing similarities between Nubarak and Azmodan here. Both are weird spider things. Absolutely they are, but they hail from different universes, they've both got bunches of legs, and you play them in two slightly different ways. So how do we play Azmodan? Well, first clues are, all of his abilities are ranged, he's a ranged specialist, therefore we are probably going to be trying to stay out of the close contact, and that's where the similarities end, says PG Stark. I see what you mean. We're going to stay out of harm's way in terms of melee range. We want to be sniping from afar, doing damage. We can probably siege quite well. By siege, of course, I mean attack enemy buildings and similar. And what else can we do? Well, we can very much buff up everything in the lane, or we can be quite DPSy. So next up, we've reviewed Azmodan. To get him in a half hour, we're going to jump in and go to try mode. Now, this is a great thing I always say about Heroes of the Storm. When you get into Heroes of the Storm, or if you're in Heroes of the Storm already, don't buy that hero. Go and take a look in try mode first. So you can go into the store, go to the heroes page, and when you're in the shop, hit try. This is what we're doing now. So what try mode lets you do is it lets you, in a one lane context, just have a go at the hero with all of their abilities and everything unlocked, see if you like it before you spend any of your hard-earned gold or maybe real money, if that's how you see fit. And in we go. We're going to take a look at Azmodan. As you can see, big giant model, and you can also see that he has normal walk, and being so big, you can hit Z and he can gallop around, and actually has an instant summon of mount, or because he can't ride a mount because he's so big, he is going to be instead just using a sprint mode, but then you can see his normal movement speed there. Okay, let's take a quick look at talents before we then jump in and have a look. So in terms of talent 1, we can go increase damage from kills with our Globe of Annihilation. Distance increasing damage as well, increasing the impact of damage dealt by up to 50%, depending on how far the missile travelled. So the farther you're hitting people with Azmodan, the more damage your Q is doing. So very, very nice. Interesting one with Taste for Blood there as well. If you kill an enemy with Orb of Annihilation's impact, then you increase your damage by 1. So if you keep getting kills, you keep buffing that particular ability's damage up. Good to see. Spare nothing, destroying ammo from structures, a nice siege ability. We were talking about Azmodan and how he could be a good siege specialist in terms of taking out buildings. Destroying 1 ammo a second from structures with all shall burn. Channel a beam on a tower, and we are going to be getting that beam to burn ammunition. Very, very nice for sieging. Then 2 generics. Activate a healing ward, ward that heals an area, bribe. Those are 2 generic talents that you can get with various heroes. But the healing ward probably syncs with Azmodan because you are going to be trying to stay in lane and do lots of damage. So anything that helps you stay there is bonus. Next up, we have Superiority, reducing non-hero damage, a generic talent. Army of Hell, number of targets from 2 to 3 for your army summoned demon warrior. So you can see that the warrior, as default, has 230 health, attacks for 23 damage and lasts 10 seconds. So you're throwing those down in a lane, or perhaps against enemy heroes, because it's marching in a straight line. It's not going to do huge amounts. Away from that line, if a hero is moving around and you're targeting an enemy hero, it's not going to be doing huge amounts. But good for sieging, and also good perhaps for attacking minion camps. Burning the Weak. Increased damage to non-heroes, more structure damage bonus, now applying to minions and mercenaries, and is increased to 50%. Very, very nice. Gluttony, damage healing Azmodan, very, very nice too, because that means you can stay in lane longer. And then Bound Minion increases minion health and damage. So along with his Blackpool heroic ability, you can see some traits where Azmodan is buffing minions near him. Level 7, Mercenary Lord, stronger captured mercenaries, very, very nice there, encouraging you to go and get those mercenary camps. Infernal Globe, reduce the cast and travel time by 40% and deals an additional 15 damage over 4, so that puts a dot on it as well, making your Globe of Annihilation even stronger. Enduring Warriors, demons lasting 5% longer. Master of Destruction, mana cost reduced from 16 to 10 per second on your All Shall Burn. And then First Aid, a generic to activate to heal over time. And then our 2 heroics at level 10. We have Demonic Invasion, rain a small army of demonic grunts down, 25 damage per impact. They do 22 and die from 4 attacks. Damage is doubled against non-heroic targets. So note that if you're dropping that on things such as mercenary camps, or if you're clearing lanes, or if you're sieging, then Demonic Invasion is doing more and more and more. So very, very good damage for Azmo. Black Pool, create a pool, it empowers him, minions, allied minions, increasing their attack and ability damage by 75%, pools lasting 5 seconds. So if you've got a big minion wave together of mercenaries and similar, and then you go and attack, let's say, some forts, and you throw down a pool underneath all of your minions and all of your mercenaries, then you can see how Black Pool will be pretty good. It's helping Azmodan push lanes very, very nicely. 13. Relentless, half duration of disables, helps you get out of a sticky spot more quickly. Hellforged Armour, less damage from non-heroic sources on your Demon Warriors. Demon Warriors doing area damage, 11 damage to nearby every second. And then March of Sin, you can move while channeling, 75% speed, so not full speed there, while channeling All Shall Burn. So being able to move rather than being standing still when using a channel, very handy, will probably save your life. Imposing Presence, enemies that attack you have their attack speed slowed by 30. A generic, but good to help you survive a little longer if you get stuck. Battleborn, on damage with a Globe of Annihilation, you summon a Demon Warrior at the impact point. That could get nasty, and you can see there are lots of Q buffs here. You can get a very, very nice Globe of Annihilation. Demonic Smite, General of Hell, will periodically blast enemy minions with demonic energy, dealing 520 damage. So your Generals of Hell. Okay, the General of Hell. Where is General of Hell? Ah, yes, the General of Hell. We need to check that trade out. And then Blood for Blood, another generic. So level 20, you get a couple of generics and then a few things that buff your specific heroic ability. So Resurgence of the Storm, Quicker Resurrect, Swift Storm, mount speed and prevent dismount from damage. That means that you can ride around a whole bunch quicker, or in Azmodan's case, Scuttle. Storm Shield, activate to grant shields to all nearby allies. Very, very handy as well. And then 2 upgraded abilities, so Perishing Flame, when your grunts die they explode, doing more damage, or the 5th Circle, buff adds slowing attacks from your Black Pool. So do you want to be buffing your heroic? Most probably. Very, very fun. We'll just quickly review the abilities, have a quick cast over of what Azmodan can get up to, and then we're going to take him into a game. So, Globe of Annihilation, shoot a Globe of Destruction, that's a long range. I'm just going to hit Q to show you how long the range on this is. Ooh, okay, so there you go. No problem there whatsoever for Azmodan throwing that out. Now I just clear my cooldowns, see exactly how far out we can get. Now, can you see that circle? Now obviously this is a very small map, but you can see if I'm standing behind my wall I can pretty much siege, on this particular map, almost to the enemy's base. So very, very nice long range on that Glaive of Annihilation. You do not want to be too up close and personal. Next up we have the old Summon of Demon Warriors. Now remember that these travel in a straight line, so because they're travelling in a straight line, and there we go, there's our Demon Warrior. Note exactly how straight a line he's going. If something interrupts him on that line, he'll attack it, or perhaps tank it, but he's not really going to be wandering too far off that line, so that's why Demon Warrior, a good sieging ability, but it's not going to be fantastic when you're trying to engage enemy players, unless they are standing still, which in this kind of game they probably shouldn't be doing for too long. Next up we've got an All Shall Burn, channel a Death Beam. I do love a good Death Beam. So let's show you the default range on this. You can see, oh, default range, I am within tower range, so that's important for you to know, and then you can see that it's draining mana every second we go. I'm going to run away. And then we will get up to, let's level up to level 10 so I can show you some ultimates. Okay, we can grab our talents and then show you ultimates. I won't show you Black Pool, I'll show you, because that's a buff with area, but I'll show you Demonic Invasion quite quickly. Then last but not least we've got General of Hell, that summons a Hell, an allied mercenary, minion or summon. The General marches with granting 50% increased damage and 50% increased maximum health to all nearby friendly mercenaries, minions and summons with unlimited range. So you can ping that on anything pretty much, anywhere over the map to help your team or yourself, and you can see how it helps with Azmodan sieging, pushing of waves. You can build Azmodan either as a long range siege type hero himself, or you can really buff him up to make sure that he's good at taking out camps, he's good at grabbing mercenaries, and he's very, very good at pushing lanes with his sieging abilities. He can attack from long range, but you can take specific things like Black Pool to make sure that you're not only benefiting yourself but all of the minions in your lane. So build up a big wave of minions in a lane and then push forward. It can be quite effective with Azmodan. Okie dokie, so we've run through abilities, we've run through talents. We're just going to show you a quick little bit of him in action in a nice bot friendly context, and then we're going to jump into a game and show you him off for real. Righty then, so what kind of build are we going to go for? I think we're going to try and show off Azmodan as a sort of long-range CG hero. Increased damage from kills, I like that. Distance increasing damage. If you're good at killing enemies, you're going to increase damage by 1 up to a certain cap. So good if you're good at farming things and getting them done. I'm going to grab Taste for Blood. I'm then going to grab, in line with our sort of CG type build, structure damage. Now applying Burning the Weak. Damage healing Azmodan, I like that. That will keep me in lane for a bit longer, but I'm going to go for Army of Hell so I can have more Demon Warriors. Merc Stronger, I like a faster cast time with damage over time. We're going to go for a very strong Glaive of Annihilation here, and then naturally that goes with Demonic Invasion. We want more stuff we can throw from the sky. Up to level 13, let's go and take a peek and see what else we can grab. I think that to go with our theme, 50 less damage, 30 damage to nearby enemies every second. I quite like Hellforged Armour to keep our Demon Warriors alive for longer. Battleborn on damage, I'll key will summon a Demon Warrior, and then we'll grab Perishing Flame. Righty then, let us grab, let's refresh the forts, let's toggle minions, and let's get our minions going. And welcome to Malfurion, who's always our friend in these, and poor Arthas, who is always going to join us as the enemy cannon fodder. Let's show you a little bit of Glaive of Annihilation. You can see me chucking that in, doing some damage. You can see the dots working away at those there as well. I'm then going to throw out some Summoned Demon Warriors. You can see how quick that summon is, so suddenly 3 Demon Warriors are pushing their way down this lane. I'm not actually taking too bad a damage. Azmodan throwing in a Glaive of Annihilation from some nice long range, and if I want to get a bit closer in on the action I can hit up an All Shall Burn. But you can note that as soon as something moves away, that channel is interrupted, so you need to make sure that you're ideally A, hitting something that's not going to be moving too far, or B, you've taken the talent that lets Azmodan move at 75% speed while channeling, so he does not break that channel. You can see, as soon as he gets out of range, my channel broken on All Shall Burn. Last but not least, let's show you a bit of General of Hell. There goes my General of Hell. That is the Hell General himself, and he is generally buffing all my minions for more pressure. We'll see if, as by tradition, we can get Arthas down. Let's throw a few more. Big Globe of Annihilation Doom. And good evening, Obring. Good to see you with us as well, live. Last but not least, let's drop a Demonic Invasion. And we can see our demons falling down with our buffed up trade as well there. They explode, deal 150 to nearby. Sieged that straight up. Can we get rid of Arthas before we jump into game? I think we might be able to. Zap. Arthas isn't moving because he's a bot, and is that Zap going to take him? Oh, so close. Wouldn't it be great if I could just pick him off with a Glaive of Annihilation? Oh, there you go. So there's a satisfying finish with our Globe of Annihilation, and a very good demo of how you can use it well to zap things out the way. And hello Wolfie. Okay, so next up we've seen what Azmodan can do. Next we're just going to jump straight on. Oh, you can see a new Barak from our last attempt there. We're going to jump straight on into versus mode and show you him in action in a game. So I would thoroughly recommend, if you're new to games like this, if you're new to MOBAs, if you're new to sort of games like Heroes of the Storm and similar, what you really want to be doing is making sure that you go into play mode and try things such as co-op, so co-op with other humans against the computer, or just play in practice and play against bots. Get yourself into it to start with, and then play in similar friendly games. So while we're searching for a bit of Azmodan versus, for those of you who are live, we'll be going into the Hearthstone half hour right after, so don't go away. Who is that? That is Azmodan. One of the new heroes introduced as of the last phase. And welcome to Petsod as well, who's joining us. It's great to see you, Pete. Wolfie, this is Azmodan. So for those of you who have not seen Azmodan, Azmodan is from Diablo. He is one of the Lords of Hell, the Lord of Sin, I do believe. And he's a ranged specialist that we're going to be sieging away with in Heroes of the Storm. Okay, so jumping straight into Heroes, let's show you a bit of Azmodan. I'm going to see who fancies what. Shall we build Siegey or Lane Pushy? Sorry folks, I've just rebooted that now, so do let me know if you can see it okay. Righty-ho, so hopefully that is all well and good now. Do let me know if it's back up and well. Right, in the meantime, while you've been away, our enemies have managed to get one hand in. I'm throwing down some more minions. I'm going to start throwing out my Let It Burn. All shall burn. Thank you, Pete. So you can see not only have our enemy team has gone up by 2 team levels, they've also managed to do one hand in. You can see they've now got 12 doubloons to get if you look in the bottom right hand corner, rather than 10. So we've got 7 out of 10. If we can get Una to hand in here with 2 doubloons, we should be able to get a siege. And you can see that the siege of the enemy's cannon managed to pretty much punch a bit of a hole in our frontline defences. So now the Trust have spawned, Lily is there, everyone is going to be pushing towards these chests now. I've managed to get caught, Muradin is trying to grab me, I'm going to run back to base. I can then throw one of my Globes of Annihilation, just missed him, to try and get some pressure on. We can see that, ooh, Poussin is on quite low health there. I need to be dancing around, remember I am ranged and I'm specialist, I'm not good at taking damage. And with this going red, I know that someone has taken that watchtower. Nicely done, Kerrigan is down. I'm going to get an Infernal Globe. I'm going to help cover here with our final 2. We just need 1 more doubloon until we can actually get a hand in going. And then note that I can actually just throw a globe of, I'm in the middle of the map, there goes my globe, drops on top of Muradin. Doesn't do huge amounts of damage, but I can put some pressure on. Oh, and sorry, I just realised I've actually got 2 doubloons and I have no idea where from, so I should better hand those in post haste. And you can see that as we top over 10 doubloons, this is going to switch. There is Blackheart, he is happy and satisfied, but alas, Kerrigan is chasing me. Kerrigan also has 5 doubloons, so I'm very carefully dancing around here. Looks as though that I'm going to drop a sieging bomb on there to see if I can try and get a unit out of this trouble. Two of my team charging in, not entirely sure I can help. I'm going to throw down my summon, throw down another minion, throw down another ball of fire and pain, but Muradin is not taking huge amounts of damage. Falco is duking around. Let's try and focus down Kerrigan if I can reach. Very nicely done. And then Muradin is trying to get out, but he's not going to get far. I can throw down another ball on the ground, and very nicely done by our team, Team Blue, managing to make sure we had more people up, more numbers, which is absolutely great. You can see that Blackheart is up, and Celis is now going to hand in 12, meaning that we can immediately start sieging again. So you can obviously see that in this map, if you die with doubloons on you, then you actually drop them and your enemy can pick them up. So I'm going to call a nice, because that was a very nice play. And as Kerrigan comes in to take this mercenary camp, I'm going to provide some support. So you can see me channeling my ability there, channeling my Ray of Doom, although it's reducing my mana. Probably more efficient if I throw out a couple of Demon Warriors, because they're just going to keep attacking, and then using General of Hell, I can buff all of those as well. So this is where Azmodan's line pushing, sort of lane pushing, comes into play. You can see that not only have I dropped my General of Hell, we've got some mercenaries. I can throw down another couple of these. Kerrigan is going to try and assassinate. I'm not going to catch up, but what I can do, note, is throw my big Globe of Doom, and if I've timed it right, oh, too slow, just a little bit too slow. I could have dropped that square on their head. So we've got people calling for a hand in. I've got 3 doubloons. Sad. Oh, just didn't quite grab those. I missed the doubloons, but I can go and hand them in. So I'm going to hand in my 3 and hope that my pressure doesn't come on me so far. See, generally, if you look at your opponent's team and they're holding a lot of doubloons, we're holding 8. Your goal should probably be to try and come around Captain Blackheart. You can see now Tassadar is going to be handing in his. I'm going to stick around to make sure to defend him so he can hand them in, and they're banked and we haven't lost them if we die. That's the most important thing. Right, okay, so I'd say broadly speaking at the moment, oh, nasty. You can see that ping on the top map showing that the enemies have got a very boss mercenary in form of the Grave Golem. So I think that we've had 2 hands-ins, they've had 1. You can see that we've sieged a bit more of their front forts, so it's broadly even at this point in time in this game. What I'm going to do, however, is help this top lane, because you can see at the moment that they are pushing with their boss minions, so I'm going to come up. I shouldn't really be coming from this angle, this is a little bit dangerous. I'm going to throw down a couple of my Demon Warriors, going to back them up with a General of Hell, and now I'm going to see if I can time this correctly. There it goes. I almost, very nearly almost managed to kill Lily there. You saw that I managed to time my nice Globe of Annihilation to drop on Lily just as she was running through it. So if it had done a little bit more damage, I could have been looking at a kill, and that's a nice example of how Azmodan can be very, very irritating. He has such a long range on this Globe of Annihilation that you can find yourself picking off various minions, various heroes as well, at extreme range if you're fortunate to do so. Okay, so we now have 4 people in our top lane doing some good damage. There's only Valor in the bottom lane. This is a good time for us to push. I very much expect that the enemy are going to come and catch us up soon. I'm actually going to grab Blazing Demons to give my Demons Warriors aerial damage as well. So Nova has gone down to the bottom lane, we've got Valor covering us in the middle, and 3 of us. You can also see us moving in with these Knights as well. Now Knights are one of the very strong mercenaries. So this is where Azmodan's lane pushing comes into play. You can see me throwing out all of my Demon Warriors to add to this huge wave of minions, and then I can, using a General of Hell, I'm going to buff this Knight. Now throwing that in means that I can put even more pressure on, and then with my Globe of Annihilation I can just add to this wave. So even though Lily is here, we're getting some very nice pressure on indeed, and pushing forward. You can see that General of Hell, they're doing a great job too. So I'm going to Globe of Annihilation, real nice pressure on this top lane. However, we can see the enemy are doing the same on our bottom lane, so I'm hoping that some of our guys are going to go and cover that while we push this lane. Now if our team goes to defend, then we're in a very nice position because we've built up a big minion wave. Oh, dangerous. Looks as though that we're not quite getting away with it. It may be that we have to go back. See that Chile has just made a hand in, 10-12, 12-14, finally balanced. Right there, just pushing into the base. By this time stage there's 14, and by there's 21 left to go, we should be quite good. So I'm hoping that those guys respawn quick. Oh, they've actually got onto our core, and we've gone onto their core, so it's really a question of whose defences are worst at this stage. Now we do have a couple of our team respawning. Oh, okay, and that is a thing you should never do in a MOBA, look away for too long. Lesson 1, don't look away from your hero for too long. Okay, so that was a nice example of some of Azmodan's abilities and lane pushing there. However, you can see the delicate balance that you have in heroes, and generally in heroes there's 3 things you try to do, or indeed any MOBA. Number 1, try and make sure you look after your lane. That means you need to push it, you need to make sure that minions aren't pushing too close to you. Rule number 2, make sure that you stick with your team. So if there are team fights going on and you're outnumbered by the enemy team, if it's players versus players, you need to make sure you're in the right place at the right time to support your team. And then number 3, map objectives. Make sure that you're dealing with the map objectives. So here, try and make sure you're grabbing doubloons, feeding Blackheart, and getting those cannons firing. Okay, oh, a kill. We can see that enemy Kerrigan goes down, and we can see that our team, or Dead General here, has actually managed to pick it up. Have we managed to drop him? You can see all of those dropping down. Can Nova get away? She can't, so another 14 doubloons, and we can now see that enemy Valor has just picked up 14, 15 doubloons. So I need to get back into the game and see what I can do here to help out. I'm going to grab Battleborn to get some pressure on, and now we can see that the first thing Tala is going to do is jump in. However, 18 doubloons. Is Tala going to stay alive? I can certainly throw in an interrupt there. Now I can put some pressure on from range here, but I'm not going to be doing him out. Then Pusan comes in to engage. What I need to do is throw my orb to make sure nothing else is going on. I may well die here. I don't think I can take him out in a one-on-one. I'm going to drop my ultimate to see if that's going to help. Huge amount of damage, but it's not going to be enough. And with an assassin against me in terms of Tychus, I was not going to be putting too much pressure on. Now you can see that Valor has gone in, the enemy Valor has gone in with a huge hand in and still has 5 doubloons remaining. So now you can see the cannon in action while I'm respawning. We can see what the cannon does. You can see that the targets come on the map and they're shelling in to get rid of these big forts, and you can see that with a couple of drops we've got a route to our enemy's core. We could win the game, but our enemy has got 2, possibly now 3 routes to our core. In fact, just the 2. Middle lane and bottom lane are all sieged through. This is still alive just about. Our top is still defended, and you can see that on the enemy base we've only managed to make 1 route through, but 1 route is enough, and you can see a wave of minions slowly building there. Okay, the challenge however is, you can see that because we've been dying a bit more than our enemy team, they've got 19 levels to our 17 as a team, so as a result they're going to be doing a bit more damage. They will have accessed more abilities, and they'll access their upgrade to their heroic before we do. Okay, we can see a fight going on here. I'm going to throw in my globe of destruction, globe of annihilation, and make sure that I'm pushing up to the top. Falco is in there, he's not going to be quite alive. I'm going to throw out a couple of demon warriors, getting them pressuring the guys over there. However, there's only 2 of us here. However, happily our team have managed to do a hand in, and we can see that some more sieging is going to be going on. I'm going to back up Nova, Falco here. We're going to grab this watchtower, always useful whether you're playing StarCraft or any game like this to make sure you've got vision. Nicely called. Nova can see that there's a bit going on here, so I'm going to throw out some orbs. I'm going to throw in a couple of things. I'm also going to try and throw my ultimate to do a whole bunch of damage to the enemy here, which is very nicely done. They're taking a lot of damage, almost got Kerrigan down in fact, and if I can zap on in with my laser, you can see that's damaging, damaging, damaging. At least we've managed to push them away from the enemy golem, and Kerrigan is taken down very nicely. So in that situation you can see where Azmodan's ranged abilities like Globe of Annihilation, sniping with Demon Warrior, and then firing off Demonic Invasion managed to let me do a lot of damage to that enemy team who was attacking this golem. And now with 2 of the enemy team down, we can jump in and put some nice pressure on there. Oh, so still pressure. Okay, the core is under attack. I'm going to go back and ping that there's some danger. It's all very well having a Grave Golem, but if they kill our core, it's worth nothing. In comes Kandra as the Demon Hunter Valor. She is going to be putting some pressure on there. Hopefully we can get... Oh, and alas, too slow. So that is an example of where we were not keeping an eye on the bottom lane, and maybe our decision to push that bottom lane was push that top lane was the wrong one. It was just too much, and even though we were grabbing people and we were men up, the enemy in the form of Tychus was just able to swoop on in there and grab our core. But that was a nice fun game. Thank you very much for tuning in for this. We're going to be doing a Hearthstone half hour next, so don't go away if you're live. If you're watching on YouTube, that is a nice little intro and play and learn to Azmodan. So we jumped in, just to summarise, and took a look at him in try mode to see what he did. We then flew into a match after that, having a quick summary of his abilities and seeing soon. So here we go. Yeah, that was not too bad. 6 takedowns, 3 deaths. We didn't have an awful account of ourselves, but I think we had a couple of silly deaths there that we could have avoided. So thank you so much for tuning into this. Like I said, if you're live, don't go away. We've got Hearthstone up next. If you're on YouTube, please do come and check out our stuff. Where can you find us? youtube.com/Felcraftcasts. And we have loads of Hearthstone stuff, over 120 episodes of the Hearthstone half hour. We also do some Heroes half hour. We're getting into Heroes of the Storm, so come in and tune in for that. And then some other games for fun as well. If you're watching on YouTube, come and have a look. twitch.tv/Felcraftcast. We try and go live Monday through Friday. And if I can magic up my sidebar, I can give you the times. There we go. Is that a sidebar? Have I crashed Twitch? No, I haven't crashed Twitch. There we go. Fabulous. So there we go. You can see our times there. UK time, add on an hour if you're European time. If you're US time, down at the bottom. We try and go live 5 nights a week. Come and join us live. We'll always tweet on @FelcraftCasts before we're going to go live, so always come and have a look on Twitter there. And then the website is felcraft.org. A bunch of fun games, and then some stuff that doesn't live so well in a video, deck lists, guides, the odd news article, and similar. So thank you for tuning in.